schedule, the Fox network was about to do something that had never been attempted in television history.
They came back to us with this pitch of, let's put a sneak peek behind Idol, and then you'll come back in the fall. And honestly, we weren't sure whether that was a good idea or not.
Fox was hoping to cash in on the built-in audience for Song and Dance that came with American Idol by airing a sneak peek of Glee directly following Idol's Season 8 finale.
There's two time slots that any producer would kill for. One is immediately after the Super Bowl, and the other is immediately after the finale of American Idol.
The problem was, how are you going to get an audience to remember this show from May until September?
I was nervous. There was always sort of that sense that, like, God, they could just yank us and no one would know.
The Glee sneak peek aired on May 19th, 2009.
The sneak peek was successful, but not wildly successful. I don't think anyone looked at the numbers, the ratings, and said, oh my God, we had a huge hit.
And the reviews of Glee were mixed.
People weren't sure what to make of Glee.
Sometimes people don't get the quirkier shows.
And when they saw it, it was just so different. Some people weren't sure that it had succeeded, or if it did, if it would be able to continue that storytelling week to week.
But something other than the ratings was creating a buzz. The Glee cast recording of Don't Stop Believin' went to the top of the iTunes chart overnight.
When we all watched the pilot together at Leah's house, and by the end of the first episode, the pilot, Don't Stop Believin' was already #1 on iTunes. I have goosebumps talking about it now.
This is a generation that is accustomed to going to iTunes to be able to have instant gratification.
I think I forgot that people would actually be able to buy the music, and when they actually could, they responded in such a huge way.
I think that was the first sign that we're like, oh, this could be something very special. And it made us all very nervous and anxious.
Fox not only wanted to capitalize on Glee's iTunes tidal wave, but also that energized Glee fans didn't lose interest in the show over the long summer break.
They sent us around the country to like this mall tour, and like we were just hoping that more people than the number of us would show up. Like if we get like 9 people, we'll be good.
Hundreds of kids were waiting at the malls already, so we were definitely a little flabbergasted by the whole idea.
It was kind of amazing. I think it was nice for us to hear what these kids were saying, being like, thank you for playing us, thank you for playing the losers and the freaks. Right, this is kind of awesome.
Glee started its official first season on September 9th, 2009, to higher ratings than its sneak peek.
When we actually started the season, the regular season, the numbers from the pilot, I think, jumped so much because I think people were, built up that great core audience and people were ready for it.
Less than 2 weeks later, Fox ordered 9 more episodes, making the Glee run a full 22-episode season.
The first time I saw myself on a billboard was in New York City. There was Gene Lynch over my head going like this. I had like my friends come down. I was like, oh, let's get pictures and stuff. It was just a really amazing experience.
Someone asked me for my autograph, and I was so like, wait, what? You want my autograph? And they're like, yeah. And I was so like kind of shaken by it that I misspelled my name. And then I didn't know what to do, so I just crossed it out and did it again about it.
So let your little Glee kids have their little club, but don't pretend that any of them are something they're not.
The phenomenon of Glee extended to the music industry. Fox had shopped around the idea of selling Glee's music early on. The first man to jump on board was Rob Stringer of Columbia Records.
I saw a 2-minute clip of the pilot of Glee, which included 25 seconds of Don't Stop Believing, which became the first song from the show. And straight after that, I just knew that there was something special there.
There were lots of labels that had a chance to work with Glee, and a lot of labels took a pass. This sort of formula of, we're going to have a TV show, lots of people are going to watch it and be very passionate about it, and these singles are going to go right to iTunes. So the second you finish that show and have that feeling of sort of affection for this moment or that moment, you can go out and you can make a piece of that your own. That was lightning in a bottle for the music industry.
We're just changing the rule book as to how you can distribute music.
And since then, the Glee cast has smashed records set by some of the most prolific artists of all time.
Every song that's recorded for Glee winds up on the Hot 100 on the Billboard charts the next week. So every time an episode airs, it's like, boom, here's another 5 songs. Boom, here's another 7 songs.
Through 2 series, we sold 35 million downloads and 12 million albums.
Glee has more singles on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart now than Elvis did, than the Beatles did.
I never really thought that I would have a song on the Billboard charts. Every time they announce one of those records, I think that they're lying just to make us happy.
On every level, Glee was a success. On January 11th, 2010, Fox announced that Glee had been renewed for a second season. An ever-increasing array of colorful and talented characters began joining the Glee Club. Transfer student Sam, accomplished dancer Mike, and scene-stealing ditz Brittany, played by Heather Morris. And celebrities lined up for guest star roles.
Kristen Chenoweth, Gwyneth Paltrow, Carol Burnett, Olivia Newton-John. I did the physical video with her.
There was a list that our casting people sent us that was like 3 pages long. And usually, you have people like, oh, so-and-so kind of wants to do it, And this list was like, really? Really?
While stars were lining up to get their music and faces on Glee, what kept the viewers coming back week after week were the gripping stories and provocative topics.
There is sex on this show. People have sex in high school. It's no secret.